How can one become extremely wealthy overnight? Peter Griffin took out a loan of $200,000 and used all of it to buy lottery tickets. He said that if he didn't win the lottery, he would put his house up for auction. When the family members knew about this, they were all prepared to end up on the streets. At night, they gathered in front of the TV, waiting for the lottery draw. This was a moment of life and death. As the winning numbers were announced one by one, the family members started checking their lottery tickets. They peeled off the scratch-off part and carefully compared the numbers. 5 of them didn't eat or drink and spent a full 2 days scratching 200,000 lottery tickets. To their dismay, not a single ticket was a winner. Just when everyone was feeling desperate, Peter said that he had just been testing them. Then Brian, feeling helpless, walked up to the real lottery tickets. He picked up the first one and found that it was exactly the winning number. This time, the Griffin family had a great victory. After cashing in the lottery, Peter withdrew all the prize money and placed it in various corners of the house. The family members discussed how to enjoy their lives. Chris wanted to eat fried chicken in the supermarket until he couldn't eat anymore. Meg wanted to go to South Korea and have plastic surgery to look like Kim Kardashian. Stewie planned to buy some small jewelry for his girlfriend. After that, Peter quit his job, and his daily task was to spend money. In the bar, whenever he was in a good mood, he would pay for everyone's drinks. Seeing how generous Peter was, his friends were very envious. Quagmire actively recommended a financial investment fund to Peter, saying that it could triple his wealth in just 1 year. Joe, who was standing nearby, quickly stepped forward and said that tomorrow was his wife's birthday. Peter understood immediately and quickly wrote 2 checks for his good friends, allowing Joe and Quagmire to spend the money as they pleased. Driven by Peter's money, Joe shared his treasured movies, and Quagmire even agreed to eat the poisonous ice cream in Peter's house. That ice cream had been in the refrigerator for 10 years. Due to Peter's unreasonable demands, his friends all left him. However, Peter didn't seem to care much. The next day, Peter had a gold suit made. When Lois saw it, she was very disappointed. She heard that Peter hadn't been in touch with Joe and Quagmire for half a month. One should never forget one's roots. Lois didn't like how money had changed Peter's personality. She had originally decided to ignore Peter forever, but the next moment, Peter took out a shining diamond, giving Lois a big surprise. That's the charm of money. The life of a wealthy man taught Peter a lot of etiquette. He took his family to high-end places. When dining, each person had to have a serving of caviar, and the Boston lobsters had to be air-freighted on the spot. However, when it was time for Peter to pay the bill, he found that his $200 million had all been spent, and his house had also been liquidated due to bankruptcy. The whole family could only end up on the streets. Becoming extremely wealthy overnight had made Peter lose everything, but Lois reminded him that the relationship between people was not easily changed. Then Peter found his friends. Seeing his down-and-out appearance, the two of them softened their hearts. Although Peter had behaved poorly when he was rich, he was still their best friend after all. Quagmire immediately wrote a check, allowing Peter to buy back his house. He didn't want to have a new neighbor. After all these ups and downs, the Griffin family finally returned to their ordinary yet interesting life.